Here's Elemental. And in fact, we're getting the final numbers today, but this might be, it's already the worst Pixar opening of all time when you adjust for inflation. It might end up being the worst Pixar opening ever, because back in 1995, Toy Story made $29.1 million on opening weekend. Elemental, what is that, 28 years later, is made 29.5. That's the estimate right now for the entire weekend. So it could very well end up being the worst Pixar opening in history, period. Even when you go back and you look at when tickets were like $4 a piece or something compared to now. That's embarrassing. That's before Pixar was Pixar. Like that's Toy Story in 1995. That's how bad it is for Elemental. And we talked about it from the very beginning when we started seeing all the stuff that was going on, and it looked like, it's going to set it to be another flop, $35 to $40 million. That was the estimates that people put out there for Elemental. That would have been bad enough. That would have been less than Lightyear, which barely got to $200 million worldwide. But no, it's significantly worse. Flash crashes with $55 million opening, which we'll talk about. Elemental's bombs with $29.5 million start. That is embarrassingly bad for them.
I mean, again, there was a time where Pixar was a guaranteed hit every single time they released a film. Why? Because they earned the trust of the audience. They earned the trust of families. It is gone. New York Times wrote an article, and the opening line of the article was, "Pixar is a damaged brand." It just is. It's a damaged brand. And that is in line with Marvel. That is in line with Lucasfilm and now Pixar. And there's going to be more to this discussion for sure. The people that have wanted to protect the corporate boot are panicking right now. They're panicking because it's getting to a point where they can't ignore reality. Pixar, as the New York Times said, is a damaged brand. This is one of those like frontline Disney brands now. You know what I mean? It hasn't been overrun with, like angry Star Wars fans or the Marvel side of things. Like Pixar was a family built brand. Family built, general audience and family built, and now even people are rejecting this, and it's bleeding over into the parks because we're even seeing that. And that's where Disney has to recognize, when you're having problems at the parks, they need to start panicking at this point in time. Elemental, it is the worst opening ever for Pixar by all standards. Just saying anything about Toy Story, I mean, that was back in 1995. That was the very first Pixar movie. Pixar wasn't Pixar at that point in time. Toy Story set the standard at that point in time, and audiences' word of mouth was powerful for Toy Story. I still think that's the best animated film ever. But Elemental's disaster, how much money are we looking to lose, or is Disney looking to lose on this movie right here?
I mean, it's got a budget of $200 million. $200 million. You got to imagine marketing's probably at least at a minimum in the $100 million range. So they got $300 million invested in it. This is a movie that might struggle to get to $125 million at the box office. I think you're looking at easily something that loses probably $200 million from them. Like I think that's in the realm of possibilities, certainly, when you look at Elemental.